All right. Day 3. Grabbing my books here. Today was kind of a long day. I got the cat crawling on my back right now, and she wants to play. She loves me to walk her around the kitchen, but now is not the time, Cupido. So, it was a very long day today. I had a lot of things going on, and back and forth and everywhere, so I feel like I'm really tired. But we're gonna not finish this Essentials challenge. We're just gonna continue on it. There's 2 more pages, but we're just gonna do 1 page. So, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this, and we will see where we get. The 10 Commandments were written on what material? They were written on stones. 21, how many apostles followed Jesus? There was 12. Yep. 22, who is directed by an angel to go see the baby Jesus? The shepherd. It was a shepherd boy. What is the second book of the Bible? The second book is Genesis, Exodus. Before David became king, what was his occupation? He was a shepherd. What is the first book of the Bible? Genesis. What is the first book of the New Testament? Matthew. How did David kill Goliath? He killed him with a sling and a stone. Where was the wilderness in which John the Baptist preached? Where was the wilderness? He was in Israel. I don't think it was very far from Jerusalem, but I actually don't know. I just know it was the wilderness, and he would preach. Oh, it was by a sea, or a river for sure. Because that's where he would do baptisms as well. So it was by a body of water, and I forget which one because there's a few out there. What was written at the top of Jesus' cross? King of the Jews. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think it also had his name, Jesus Christ, King of the Jews. Hey. I'm doing Bible trivia right now. So, yeah. Next question. In what did Jesus sleep after his birth? He slept in the manger for the first night, and I don't think he was moved until a little while. Obviously, from yesterday, we learned he was in a house by the time that the wise men came. And hopefully I remember to put in the comment section down, or in the description box, how old he was, because I know it's conflicted. Was it a year or not? I haven't even looked into that yet, but I just remembered about it. But I'll look into that. I'm trying to think. This might be a trick question. In what did Jesus sleep after his birth? He was wrapped in a linen cloth as well, so it might say that. Who is willing to offer his son as a sacrifice to the Lord? That was Abraham. What was miraculous about Jesus' mother? She was a virgin at the time that she gave birth to Jesus. After Noah built the ark, for how many days and nights did it rain? After Noah built the ark, for how many days and nights? 40, yep. Who was placed in an ark of bulrushes and placed in a river by his mother? That was baby Moses, and I forget what his mother is called, but yeah, his mother didn't want him to die because all of the, not adult, I was about to say adult, all of the males who were at least 1 year or older, or younger, and it might have actually been 2 years and younger, I'll post it below. But everyone who was very young, they were going to kill all of them so that they didn't rise up and defeat the Egyptians. What curious thing happened to Jonah? He was swallowed by a whale on his way to Nineveh. Well, he wasn't going to Nineveh. He was going to Tarshish to escape preaching in Nineveh because he didn't want the Ninevites to be freed and to be forgiven by God. He wanted God to rain his judgment on them. How is Ruth related to Naomi? So Naomi was her, not mother-in-law, because she didn't actually have she wasn't married to Ruth's son. But then again, I'm thinking maybe it was mother-in-law. She was a mother figure for sure. And Ruth's other sisters, they were like, nope, we're not going with you. And Ruth stayed with Naomi. I know that. But I don't know if it was mother or mother-in-law or a mother figure of some sort. And I should know that, but okay. To whom was Mary engaged when she became pregnant with Jesus? To whom was Mary engaged? Joseph. What book of the Bible contains hymns written by David? That would be the Psalms. What animals drowned themselves in the sea when demons cast out by Jesus entered them? Pigs or swine, whatever word they go for. I actually watched back the video of yesterday, and I'm a little concerned for myself because I noticed I said some things, and I'm like, do I always speak like this? How often do things go over my head? Like I said, the throne of thorns, and I did not even realize it until I was watching the video. I was trying to say crown, but I was saying throne, and that's just like, whoa. Also, serpent is a snake, and I said it wasn't, or I said I got that wrong, and I'm like, no, serpent is still a snake. You got that right. What are you saying? You got it wrong. Anyway, pig, swine, whatever word they're looking for, it's the same thing. Then it says, what psalm begins, "The Lord is my shepherd"? I used to know exactly which one. I'm gonna guess Psalm 12, but I know about the scripture. The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want. He maketh me to walk in green pastures. He restoreth my soul. He leads me beside still waters. But I can't remember exactly. I think it's either 12 or 44 or something with a 4 in it, or 12. Who wrote the majority of the letters that form a large part of the New Testament? That would be the Apostle Paul. He wrote, I would say, the majority of the New Testament. And last question for today, what wicked things did Joseph's brothers do to him and to get rid of him? They sold him to slavery. First, they pushed him off into this canyon cliff cavern. He couldn't climb out of it. They stole his coat of many colors and tried to make it seem as if he was attacked by wild animals and killed by the wild animals. And then they sold him to slavery. All right. Today, I was not as confident as yesterday, but it's okay. All right, we got this. 20 is 10 commandments were written on stone. Exodus 34:1 and Deuteronomy 5:22. The apostles that followed Jesus were 12 of them. Luke 6:13. Who was directed by an angel to go see baby Jesus? That was shepherds. Luke 2:8-17. I said one shepherd, or like the shepherd boy, but shepherds. And then 23. What is the second book of the Bible? Exodus. 24. Before David became king, what was his occupation? Shepherd. 1 Samuel 17:12-15. 25 is what is the first book of the Bible? Genesis. 26. What is the first book of the New Testament? Matthew. How did David kill Goliath? He struck him with a stone from his sling. You can read that in 1 Samuel 17:48-50. 28. Where was the wilderness in which John the Baptist preached? Judea. Matthew 3:1. Judea. Okay, so I got that one wrong, but I already knew I didn't know it. 29. What was written at the top of Jesus' cross? This is Jesus, the King of the Jews, Matthew 27:37. So my wording was a little bit off, but I knew what was on there. Just messed up the wording. 30, in what did Jesus sleep after his birth? A manger. Okay, my first answer was right. You can read that in Luke 2:7. This game's got me all paranoid now. I have to make sure I get these questions right. Just kidding. It's not a big deal. We learn every day. 31. Who was willing to offer his son as a sacrifice to the Lord? Abraham, James 2:21 through 22. I'm surprised they give the scripture in James instead of the Old Testament scriptures, because you can read about the whole story in the Old Testament, but in James it was brought up again, I'm guessing. Well, obviously it was. All right, 32. What was miraculous about Jesus' mother? She was a virgin, Matthew 1:22 through 25. After Noah built the ark, for how many days and nights did it rain? 40, Genesis 7:12. 34, who was placed in an ark of bulrushes and placed in a river by his mother? Moses, Exodus 2:3. 35, what curious thing happened to Jonah? He was swallowed by a great fish. Oh, did I say great whale? I think I said great whale again. I might have got that wrong again. Jonah 1:17. I know it's a fish. Why do I say whale? I think it's the crown thorn thing. Like I have words in mind when I mean something else. I don't know. 36. How was Ruth related to Naomi? She was Naomi's daughter-in-law. Okay, so mother-in-law was one of my options. I was a little bit confused about that, and I'm going to post stuff below just so that if you were also confused, you can read it yourself, or just read inside Ruth 1 through 4, and you can see for yourself what that's about. 37, to whom was Mary engaged when she became pregnant with Jesus? Joseph, Matthew 1:18 through 19. 38, what book of the Bible contains hymns written by David? Psalms. 39, what animal drowned themselves in the sea when demons cast out by Jesus entered them? Swine, Matthew 8:32. I knew they were going to pull the swine on me, you know. 40, what psalm begins, the Lord is my shepherd? 40. Psalm 23. I was kind of close. I did say 24, but then I was like, no, 12. Okay, 23. That's close enough, right? Half point. 41. Who wrote the majority of the letters that form a large part of the New Testament? That would be Paul, Romans 1:1, and you can read Jude 1:25. Last question. What wicked things did Joseph's brothers do to him and to get rid of him? They tossed him into a pit and eventually sold him to strangers. Genesis 37:23 through 28 is where you can read that story. All right, so today, pretty short. Hopefully you heard me good. The last video I made that was near the fan, you were able to hear me good, at least on my laptop, so I think this is a good spot. I was going to sit outside, but it's already that late enough that the mosquitoes are like killer right now. So yeah, I have some stuff I want to talk about, but I'm going to save that for other videos because I'm just going to keep the trivia videos separate. Otherwise, this will turn from like a 15-minute video into an hour-long video or 30-minute, and I'm going to try to keep them shorter. But I hope you guys had fun with that. I think today's questions are pretty good. I feel good about tomorrow. Tomorrow's actually, we're already at 42, so we only have like 10 more questions. So maybe I can start the other challenge as well. We'll see what it is when I open the book tomorrow. But yeah, I'm about to be pretty busy too the next few weeks, but I'm going to try to do this every day because I just really love this, getting in the Word. And even if you're not even reading the Bible, like I'm still going to read the Bible tonight, but like, and study some. I'm going to look up that Ruth scripture and read about, what's it called? I should look into Judea, but about what was it that stumped me? I'm going to read some of the stuff. Going to have to look back at the questions, do some studies. Hopefully you guys all are too, because at the end of the day, we really do have to feed ourselves correctly. And I was thinking more about abiding in God and what that means, because I made a video about remaining in joy and do these things to remain joyful. And it says to abide in God. And like other scriptures that say that, it says to abide in the word. So I always say prayer is number one, because some people don't have Bibles. It's also super quick. God hears you instantly, and then you get instant help. But sometimes I go back and forth, and I'm like, maybe reading the Bible is more important than, well, I don't think they're both important. I don't think one's more important than the other. And like I said, sometimes you don't have the Bible with you, so prayer and meditating and stuff, but you need to know what to meditate on, and the Bible has the truth. So I feel like the Bible is super, super important. And with so much out there these days, like, you can't escape the evil. And it's so hard to guard well the avenues of your soul that will, with this kind of a world that we live in. So at the end of the day, I feel like, you got to get it in where you can. So I'm going to try to do this every day. And I think I'll have fun with this. But anyway, I hope you all have a great night. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.